Hey, everybody, it's me, John Ward, and I am back, and Donald Wills is back, and we're doing a Christmas edition of Film Discussion. How you doing, Donald?
Doing well, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you, and I like your glasses and your hat. I think you should definitely wear the glasses all the time.
All the time?
Yeah,
So should I change my name to MC Rudolph or something?
I like that. You could. You could be like a rap singer, and that'd be
like,
okay.
like yo, MC Rudolph in the house.
You've started a whole new thing. I think so.
I'm not a rapper. I tried. I can't do it.
Well, I've often said that that white people shouldn't rap. So, I guess there are exceptions out there, but for the most part, they should not. So maybe it's a better idea, a good idea not to. So,
Yeah.
and you had a Christmas party today.
Yeah, we had a Christmas party for the kids. There's a lot of where I work at, where I live at, a lot of people um, didn't have anywhere for the grandkids to come see Santa, and they wanted to have like a little Christmas thing. So I said, okay. So we helped set something up, and kids came. They had a good time. I had a good time, except for cleaning up, of course.
Oh,
But
yeah,
other
that's
than
going to be
that,
fun.
it wasn't bad. It was a good time.
What type of food did you have?
We did like a pizza with Santa kind of deal. So it was pizza and chips, and we had some hot dogs for those that don't like pizza, even though I don't think those people exist.
If they do, they should not.
Right?
Because there's so many varieties of pizza. Like, how can you not like pizza?
I mean, there's potato pizza. There's regular pizza. There's like Chicago style. I mean, there's so many different ones. Some of that I've never even tried yet. So I
Yeah,
mean,
those
always a
people are
variety.
crazy. Those people are crazy. It's that simple. They're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what we're going to do here today is we are going to discuss all things Christmas. And it can be horror, it can be action, it can be comedies, it can be drama. We can talk about books, games, we can talk about anything we want. That's the good thing about film discussion is it can be anything and everything. So nothing is off limits. And as we normally do, each of us have things that we want to show from our collections. And maybe one day we could use these as tax write-offs. So I guess we just have to make more money for that to really be possible. But I have a
We're not
lot.
that big yet, John. We're not that big yet.
Now, I tried it. I actually did it one year and it still came up zero. I saved all my receipts from like going to the movie theater, from buying movies, all that stuff. I saved everything. I had it right there for tax day and I inputted everything in and it still said zero because I just don't make any money. I guess it really only works, if you're rich.
I guess.
So what we're going to do is because I have a lot more than Donald. So I'm going to go first. I'll show off some of my stuff, then he'll go, and then I'll go. And to kind of break things up, I just had Boris hop up on the table. That was his shadow. And yeah, so let's get going. So I did talk about these two books on the video that I made with Christmas horror books, but I do want to show them again because we're discussing it. So the first one is A Scary Little Christmas, and AXEMAS 1 and 2 are featured in here, which is nice.
Nice.
Matthew C. Dupree, he gave them good reviews. So thank you, Matthew. I thanked him on the video too. And then I just got to put this on the table here because there we go. And then the second one is Gift Wrapped and Gutted. And it's the trashiest Christmas horror movies ever made. And the other book is, I didn't read the full title, A History of Yuletide Horror Films from 1972 to 2020.
Okay.
And this one's autographed. If you get it through Matthew, he can autograph it for you. So, which is nice. And then these are just all Christmas stuff, just all Christmas reviews. AXEMAS 1 and 2 are also in this. AXEMAS was recommended, and AXEMAS 2 was highly recommended. So there
Nice.
you go. And that's Richard Moog. So that's him right there. And so those are the two books that I wanted to show. And then I got, this is funny. These are normal compared to what you're going to see. These are like normal movies. And a lot of them are by accident. So I didn't know if I should put this in the normal one or the other one, because they're all horror films. Edward Scissorhands. So I got that. So that's Blu-ray, which is nice, and it's got like that isolated score by Danny Elfman on there. So, and then I already talked to you about this one. This is one that I found in a storage unit, actually. That's the good thing about working in a storage facility. If somebody just abandons their unit, you just take what you want. And so I've always found some movies. I do want to get the Blu-ray because it has all of them in it, but it's Home Alone. So it's the Home Alone trilogy at this point. So Home Alone 1, 2, and 3. So
we don't talk about 3.
You know, I heard that the only reason why John Hughes wanted to make part 2 was so he could make part 3. I read that a long time ago. Maybe Macaulay Culkin was still going to be in it at that point.
Probably.
But it's hard to believe that he wanted to do this just to make this. So
yeah, 2 just feels kind of forced.
Oh, it's very forced. It's just like any of these other sequels that did not need to be made. Yeah. But now there's like 6 of them. So and then of course this is also a kind of a trilogy, but and you may not know this, but this is the Jaws 3 movie collection. And it has Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws the Revenge. Did you know that Jaws the Revenge is a Christmas movie?
Takes place during Christmas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So where the first one was 4th of July, this one takes place during Christmas. So I count that. Because there's Christmas trees and everything. They open presents. And so, yeah. So I consider that as a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And then this is also one that we texted each other. So it's the Die Hard 4-disc collection. And there's Die Hard there, which people continue to question. Is it a Christmas movie?
Here's the biggest. For ages, we need to know this, John. We need to know the truth. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes, I think it is. I would say anything that takes place in the month of December, especially around Christmas, snow, Christmas lights, Christmas trees, presents, Santa, it is a Christmas movie. I would even say Die Hard 2, Die Harder is a Christmas movie because it also takes place during the winter. Mm-hmm. So I think that one does too. The other ones don't. But and also it's weird. I don't know if they changed it or not, but on the box set for these, like the Blu-ray box set, Live Free or Die Hard is the PG version, like the PG-13 version. But the DVD is the R-rated version.
Oh, okay.
And it's all because of the one word, it's the, yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And in the PG-13 version, he just goes yippee-ki-yay mother, and then it like cuts off. So I bought it this way instead of the Blu-ray because they're Live Free or Die Hard, PG-13 and unrated edition. So
I watched a video a couple of months ago that was telling about TV edits. They had a version of one of the Die Hards. He goes yippee-ki-yay mother father.
Some of those are awful, and I really wish that we could get them. I know that there were some websites up for a while where you could get those TV versions, and some of them are really funny. I mean, they're plus they add in a whole bunch of footage that's not in the movie.
Oh yeah, Snakes on a Plane. They had I'm tired of these mother snakes on his mother plane. Well, they changed it to I'm tired of these Monday to Friday snakes on his mother father plane or something like that. I'm like, what? That don't even make any sense at this point.
No. And something like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, there's like 20 minutes of footage added. Of course, all the nudity and swearing is cut out, but so. Yeah. But it's interesting seeing all that footage. Yeah. And then, of course, Gremlins. This is the special edition. I have also Gremlins 2 and Goonies on DVD. So there's also a Blu-ray with all three of those on it too, but I just happen to have the DVD. This is one I found inside a storage unit in a box. I've never watched it, and I really have no idea what it is. I think it's a reunion of A Christmas Story. And it's the untold Christmas story, and it's showing the cast as adults, and then all of these like photos, like behind the scenes photos and all that.
Kind of looks like a documentary or something.
Yeah, and it's okay. Now, for the first time anywhere, the untold Christmas story goes behind the scenes of the making of the holiday classic, the lives of the stars, and the recreation of the Christmas Story house. So it includes interviews, never before seen photos. They reminisce. Opening of the first house, like I guess as a tourist attraction. They talk about the musical. The perfect compilation to your favorite Christmas film. So I've never watched it, but I thought I'd keep it because of A Christmas Story.
There you go.
So, yeah, why not? So
I heard they just made the sequel to that just this year.
Oh yeah, it's out on HBO. A Christmas Story Christmas.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it's really good.
I plan on watching it on Christmas. I'm waiting. So
there you go.
Yeah. And then I'll do a few of these to kind of even out my stack here. So I think if I go to here, and then we can hop on with you.
Okay.
So these are Blu-ray, and so now this is all horror stuff. Silent Night, Zombie Night. So it's
what
this
haven't
Christmas,
they made zombie movies?
Well, this Christmas you are the holiday feast. And I've seen this a couple times, but I kind of forget. They're both cops. One of the cops is married to her. The other cop is having an affair with her. And it's during the zombie apocalypse that they all have to kind of get along and figure everything out. It wasn't bad, but it's I like the title. So
yeah, it's a good title. I like it.
Yeah. Red Christmas, which I've never watched. It's with Dee Wallace. I still have not seen this yet.
From Twisted Sister?
No, that's Dee Schneider.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking like who's
Dee Wallace from like E.T.
Oh, okay.
Howling.
Brain fart. I'm thinking Twisted Sister on the mind here. I don't know what's going on here.
And then the last Blu-ray would be a pretty great flick, actually. Better Watch Out.
Never heard of that one.
It's compared to Home Alone, actually, as being a really demented version of Home Alone. It's best to know nothing about it if you're going to watch it.
What's it called again?
Better Watch Out.
I have to track that down and check it out.
As I'm sure, who is it? It's I don't even recognize the companies. It might be on Tubi or maybe like Netflix or something. Yeah, it doesn't look like a big company. So then we get into some DVDs. So I pulled this one out: Shark Bait 6 Killer Shark Films, plus a bonus 7th bite to sink your teeth into. And my reason for this is because of Santa Jaws. Yep.
I've been meaning to watch that for a while.
It's pretty funny because at one point, as the shark's fin is going around, the Santa hat does fall on it. So it's just the hat going around the ocean. So it is funny. And the director, I believe, is on Facebook. And I made a comment that I was watching it. And she's like, oh, thank you for watching it. So
there you go. It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. There you go. I think it's worth
watching. I watched the first couple minutes of it, and I was like, I was meaning to get back to it, and I just haven't got back to it. I was like, I was gonna wait. I was saving it for like a Christmas marathon or something. So
yeah, or Shark Week. It would maybe even work for
or Shark Week.
Yeah. This one is brand new, and it only cost me like $7. It's Wild Eye releasing. It's Christmas Massacre or Christmas Massacre.
Okay.
And it says "Pray Bells Ringing."
Let me see. It's like Chris Massacre.
Christ Massacre.
Chris Massacre.
But the
That's what
thing
it
is,
looks like Chris Massacre or something.
yeah. And I got it because it was so cheap. It's Christmas. It's got like, I don't know, like maybe like a little elf here, if that's what it's supposed to be with the axe. And I'm like, oh, cool. Oh, this is new. I'll grab it. It's so cheap. And then it wasn't until I got home that I realized this is formerly released as Secret Santa, which is also Wild Eye. And that's something that people need to keep an eye on, is they do re-release their movies under different titles. Luckily, I
Yeah.
don't have Secret Santa,
Yeah.
so I'm okay. But that just kind of annoyed me, you know.
I hate the fact that they changed titles. I mean, I wish there would. I mean, I could understand if a title is copywritten or something, but other than that, why change the title?
I think it's ownership. They just feel like they own it, kind of like how like Harvey Weinstein back in the day would cut 10 minutes out of every movie, like he did it with, you know, Clerks and Cinema Paradiso, and it's ownership to say that it's their version of the movie. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe that's it. Or they get you to buy two movies. I mean, if I already owned Secret Santa, I would have bought this, thinking it was a totally different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily I just didn't.
It makes sense. It's frustrating, but it makes sense.
Yeah. And then going back to zombies, this is a really fun one. Anna and the Apocalypse. So it's a Christmas zombie musical.
3 genres I never thought would ever be mashed together.
It's good. It's fun. And it's got some
Okay.
gore in it too, which is nice. It is rated R. So
Okay.
then the original Black Christmas, the Bob Clark one. The Bob Clark is so underrated. He was such a good director, and some friggin' a-hole, some drunk driver smashed into him and his son and killed them both. So all because of a drunk driver, we now don't have a really good director, because as I'm sure Bob Clark would have come back to probably do the new Christmas Story. And he's just done, you know, because he did do, because I mean, Black Christmas and A Christmas Story and Porky's. I mean, that's a pretty versatile guy. You know, I really enjoyed it. Then also have the remake, which is so much better than the second remake, which sucks balls, Christmas balls. Woke piece of garbage that it is. Hate that movie.
Wait, that bad, huh?
It is awful. It is a man-hating film. The new one, the second remake, is a man-hating movie, and I hate it. I gave it 2 chances. I thought maybe I just saw it with a bad mood. And then I watched it again, and it put me right into a bad mood. So I'm like, nope, it wasn't me. It was the movie. But this is not a bad remake. And Bob Clark was alive at the time, and he gave his blessing. So, you know, it's considered, you know, not a bad sequel. And Halloween is technically a sequel to the original Black Christmas, because Bob Clark had an idea of, what if the killer in the house was caught, put into an institution, and then escaped and was terrorizing this like small town. And the next thing you know, Halloween comes out. So if you actually watch the original Black Christmas and Halloween back to back, they kind of make sense. And that's from Bob Clark. He mentions that, I think it's in the interview for this. So, and just a couple more here. Then the original Silent Night, Bloody Night, the film from the 70s.
Okay.
That they're doing part 3 right now. What is it? It's Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. I'm forgetting, but it's Will Colazo and Julianne Prescott, and they're doing part 3 now. And so this is actually a really good version of this DVD. It says normally it looks like crap because it's public domain. And speaking of somebody who loves to make public domain movies and who didn't like the idea that part 3 was being made, Dustin Ferguson's Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 revival. which this is another one of these versions of, you may not even have to watch the first one because there's so much footage from the first movie in here that you may not even have to watch the first movie. So I thought this was okay, but it got some really bad reviews. So, and then the last one is the remake, Silent Night, Bloody Night, The Homecoming. So, which I believe is British. I think it was shot overseas. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched some of these. So, okay, so that's my first stack there. So, did you want to go?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's start with the Blu-rays. My Christmas movies are pretty much the main ones you would expect everyone and their brothers to have. So there's some horror ones in here. There's some comedy, cartoons, you name it. So
okay,
we gotta start with the classic, the Rankin and Bass originals.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
So this one comes with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, not Frosty Returns, which I'm so mad about because that was my favorite one. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, The Little Drummer Boy, and Cricket in the Hearth. That's one I don't know.
Okay.
All the films in the back there. I don't know if you can see it too well.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I don't know. I don't know that last one.
So that is a bunch of bonus features, so I can't complain about that. They do have another set that has like everything, well, almost everything that they've done, but it's on DVD. There's no Blu-ray. So I was kind of upset about that. Oh well, what can you do? So have not one, but two copies of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
So you got your Tim Burton film there too. Yes, great movie. Great soundtrack.
A bit overhyped back in the day because everyone was like, "Oh, this is the best Christmas movie ever. This is the best Tim Burton animated film ever." I'm like, and I watched it at first. I was like, you know, hype really kills movies for me because when you hear everyone like Black Panther, everyone raved about how great that movie was. It was the best movie ever. It was the greatest Marvel movie ever. Yes, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it, but I think the hype really puts you in that mindset of oh, this is a groundbreaking. This has to be like a revolutionary film or something.
Right.
But then, so when I hear hype, you know,
right. No, understandable. Yeah.
So, the classic, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, I need to get that in my collection too. Yeah, that's a good one.
This is both the colorized version and the black and white version.
Oh, that's the way to go.
Watch the black and white version.
Oh yeah,
That's the one I'm nostalgic for, is the black and white version.
Nice to have both though.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't mind having both, but if I'm gonna pick between the two, I'm gonna watch the black and white version.
Oh yeah, that's always the better one to watch. Like I have Night of Living Dead, black and white and color. Got Fly 9 from Outer Space, black and white and color. It's like, why not just buy the version that has everything on it, and then I'll just watch the black and white one. But at least it has everything on it.
At least I have the choice to watch it in color. So, so this was a Disney Movie Club exclusive.
Exclusive?
It's a Christmas classic 4-movie collection. Oh, okay. Comes with the Miracle on 34th Street, Charles Dickens, the Christmas Carol, sorry, Jingle All the Way, which is the only reason I got this, because let's be honest, this movie has been memed so many times. Turbo Man.
Did you see the sequel?
I did not, with Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
He ain't no didn't even bother. I didn't even bother. Yeah. And Home Alone.
There you go. So you got your Home Alone.
and Home Alone,
Ah, okay.
Home Alone and Steelbook.
Okay. I'm guessing you're a fan.
It gets worse. Home Alone 2
Oh,
on
okay.
Blu-ray.
Okay, well.
And the Home Alone box set of all 5 movies
Oh,
with
wow.
the paint can.
Very nice.
So this I
Love
don't
it.
open because this is like a collector's item now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I'll just keep this. I keep it sealed and up when I have my movies up. And when I
Yeah, that's
finally
really
build
cool.
my DVD shelves out here in the living room, I'm gonna have a place where I can put all my collector's editions and the big bulky stuff. I can put that up there and have it displayed properly.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
um,
Nice Home Alone collection there.
that's not the one I have multiple versions of. The Even though I do have multiple versions of, but that's not the one I was talking about earlier.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is a great movie, Batman.
Yes, it is, and it's one that I have to own. And I've actually contacted the filmmakers of that and told them how much I liked it. Um, uh,
Yeah.
I a lot of people are doing that. Was it Violent Night? And
Hmm.
I've heard it's really good, but then I'm like, but it sounds like Fat Man.
Yeah.
It's like
I haven't seen that one, but I was not expecting much with this. I was like, okay, Mel Gibson as Santa
you.
Claus,
I love Mel Gibson as Santa Claus because
but
he's so
I
nutty. He's so
mean,
insane.
yeah, that's what I loved about it. He was gritty. Like he didn't like, and the elves were hilarious. Like, especially when they're eating sugar and pies and all that stuff. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I need to buy that.
And yeah, I got it used. I'd like to see if I can find it with the slipcover because I'd really like. I'm a slipcover psychopath. Let's just
Oh
be real
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
I will literally, I will literally go on eBay and just pay $10 just for the slipcover. That's
I've thought of
how.
doing that for a few films. Yeah, it's I look at my collection at times. Like I know Scream 4 and then the Scream collection both
Yeah,
had slipcovers,
yeah,
and I bought them a little too late, and they don't have
yeah,
slipcovers. And so now I just kind of
yeah.
look at them, just going like, "Where I want my slipcover?"
I do that with my Marvel collection because a lot of them are. I have the last about 4 or 5 from like Endgame back, like the last couple all have slipcovers, and then there's ones that are like slipcover, no slipcover. It's like,
So you got to get
anyway,
them when they come out.
yep. So,
First day.
and the last Blu-ray I have here is a horror pack exclusive
Ooh.
of, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right, a Cadviar Christmas. Never watched this, so I
No
don't know
idea.
nothing about it.
Yeah, yeah, Cadaver Christmas.
I
Yeah.
definitely have to. It sounds like it's a zombie movie, but I could be wrong. But I will have to watch it and let you know
Okay.
what it's like. So, you want me to go through the DVDs, or
How
you
many
want to go through
DVDs?
your?
Yeah, because I got 2 more stacks. So yeah, so I'll go through my one stack. Then when I'm done, then we'll go to your DVDs, and then back to mine, and then we'll be done with that.
You want to do your stack now? Then go.
Yeah,
Then we'll do my. Okay, that sounds good. Okay,
yeah,
we can do
break it
that.
up a little. Yeah, yeah, because I'm looking at this going, man, I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, this movie I love. I know the director of it, and it's Alan Maxon, and I had
Okay.
him on One Filmmaker, and we
Mhm.
talked this film and a lot of other movies. He does he works in Hollywood. He does a lot of that kind of like motion capture, that they do like with Planet of the Apes and stuff like that. He does that type of stuff, and he's also a
Wasn't that
director.
the one? Wasn't that the one that that said he did with Godzilla, King of the
Yes,
Monsters?
yeah, yeah. He's
Yes,
one of Ghidorah's heads. Yeah.
yeah, I watched that episode. That was a good filmmaker. One filmmaker, one film.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah, he was really good. And so he sent me this because we were going to review it, and it's gotten horrible reviews. But it's Christmas with Cookie. And this film is just insane. Like it is literally like you're on acid. I liked it, but it's gotten horrible reviews, and even Alan will say, "Yeah, this thing gets nothing but bad reviews." But it's so crazy. Like if you want to get high one night and watch a movie, this would probably be it, because it is so trippy. So I do recommend it.
After
And
you guys talking about it, I was like, I need to see this movie. I need to see if I can get a contact with them or something to see if I can get a copy, because I want to
yeah,
see it now.
it's pretty violent too. It's unrated, so and it's
Okay.
yeah, it's good. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Then this is a movie that this is probably the first film I ever worked on. I'm going to say 2000. And it's called Nutcracker: An American Nightmare, directed by Glenn Griefey,
Okay.
and it stars David Hess. So I got to work on set for like 2 days with David Hess, and
Nice.
yeah, it's all shot in the Bay Area and all that. So I want to say 2000, 2001. I don't see a date on this, but yeah, it was like, oh, I think it came out on 2006 on DVD, but this is another crazy one. So there's David right there. But
Okay.
yeah, I got to work with the legendary uh Dave David S. So I did,
There you go.
yeah. So that was
Cool
pretty
deal.
cool. This I did through crowdfunding. I helped some guys out, Dismembering Christmas. I also got
Okay.
a VHS copy of it too, but I figured, just showing off one is enough. Then this, I ordered a whole stack of movies from this guy and his company. It's even numbered. It's called Savage Christmas. And they
Okay.
autographed it, and they number all their movies. So they got a bunch of other ones. So I got that. This is another film that I'm in. It's David Mackey, and he's I'm sorry, Mankey. I said Mackey. Mankey, David Mankey, and Mia Custer. I'm having problems with their names. Mia Custer, who is his girlfriend, and she's like one of the producers on it. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. And that's a Winter Wasteland. So that I
Yeah.
got that. So that's another one. A lot of these ones are independent. These two kind of go together. So this is Stirring. So this is also from crowdfunding.
Okay.
And this is a Troy Escamilla. I hope I'm saying his name right. And who now lives out here in Vegas. So I'm going to have to meet up with him at some point. But then Wild Eye Releasing, and we just talked about this, Wild Eye Releasing brought it out as Mrs. Claus, which it has nothing to do with Mrs. Claus. And sadly, Troy was making part 2, which was Mrs. Claus. Christmas was going to be in Halloween. Like it was going to take place on Halloween. So I thought that was cool. But
Okay.
I guess that's on hold for a while. But
Ah.
then we have David Sterling, which is Deadly Little Christmas with Felicia Rose. So David was the producer on this one.
Okay.
This one, I got into an argument with the guy who released it. It's called Happy Holidays. And you can tell how long ago I got this. This cover and everything was printed up by a printer and then cut to fit into here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the disc. It's just like a DVD-R, and he just wrote Happy Holidays on it. And
Okay.
the idea of this is that it was supposed to be a movie that was lost in the 80s, and then it was found again. And so then he released it. And the sound on this is god awful. And I contacted him about that and said, do you have one? Are you going to redo the sound? And he goes, well, no, because the movie was lost. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. This movie was made like 3 or 4 years ago. And I finally got him to say, yeah, you're right. We made it like a few years ago. We intentionally made the sound bad and all
Chris
that.
Seaver.
Yes. And I said, dude, I will never watch this movie again because of its sound. And I've said, and which really disappoints me because I love the title and I like the cover and all that. But I've said this to many people. Okay, I'm 55. I was alive when VHS was out. You could go down to any Goodwill buy a VHS tape there and take it home, and it will play perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like the picture's not going to be messed up, the sound's not going to be messed up. It will play perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why young people think they always have to mess with the picture, they got to mess with the sound, and it's annoying because now I'll never watch this. So I don't know. That's I can't. So I warn people on it because it's not fair that you can't even hear the damn movie.
Yeah.
All the creatures were stirring. I got that.
I've seen that. I've seen that one. I didn't see the movie, but I've seen like the cover art, and I've seen it like in
I haven't
stores.
seen
I've never
it
picked it
either.
up though.
Yeah,
But it's definitely one that looked interesting. I was like, if I ever find that, I'm definitely gonna grab that.
yeah. I think it was Dollar Tree like last year or something. And
My
then
Dollar
this.
Tree sucks. So
Oh,
they
I
just
just
now have like stacks and stacks and stacks of DVDs now. And every time I
well,
go in there, it's always the same crap.
it
It's
is,
always
but
the same
I
stuff.
realized what they did is and I saw this on YouTube, is I was seeing people writing like Dollar Tree Black Friday. And I'm like, why are they called Dollar Tree Black Friday? Everything at Dollar Tree is like $1 or $1.25. That's when they unloaded all their movies. So I walked away probably a couple days after Black Friday with like 3 bags full of brand new movies because they just waited till Black Friday. But
Makes sense.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, okay, but it still had all the old shit too, so that they're just things to get rid of.
Yeah.
This one is really bad. Santa Claus, and I got it because it actually has people who worked on the original Night of the Living Dead doing it, and it has Debbie Rochon, who I like. But it's John A. Russo, and there's other people, like Marilyn Eastland, Bill Hintzman, Carl Hardman. I mean, it's got like all these Night of the Living Dead people, and it's pretty much porn. So I don't know. I got.
I was gonna ask when I seen the cover, is that one of the dirty movies?
No, but see, I mean, just look at the back. Looks even more like one.
It does. That's pretty bad. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Then this is a foreign one, a Christmas Cruelty. So it's all signed by everybody there. Thanks a bunch, mate. So this I now watch every Christmas, and I highly recommend this film, Christmas Blood. This thing is awesome. I really wish that more people would watch this movie or make it known. It is really good. It's subtitled. It's German, I believe, but it is really good. It's got some great camera work in it. So Christmas Blood, people should check that out.
Definitely.
Then classic, Don't Open Till Christmas, about the psycho going around killing Santas for a change. So this is worth watching too if you haven't. And then my last two, another classic, Christmas Evil.
Yeah.
And these are all like the original director's cut, special edition. This is digitally remastered for Don't Open Till Christmas. So that's a classic, and that's Synapse Films. So they normally bring out good looking stuff. And then the last one, I did watch this last year, and it wasn't bad. I kind of liked it. Once Upon a Time at Christmas. Thought this was pretty good. So it's kind of like Bonnie and Clyde, and they go on like a blood-soaked rampage, or maybe like Joker and Harley Quinn, because they even have one of the girls on the back kind of looking like Harley Quinn. But it's a Christmas time, so it's pretty good too. I liked it, and that's the rest of that one. So
so we're gonna go on to the DVDs, and then I'll show the multiple of one movie I have.
Okay.
And I have one Christmas book. I know, it's surprising. Usually I have a whole bunch of books of something. I only got one this time.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I also have the Silent Night, Bloody Night 2 from Dustin Ferguson. This is
Oh, yours is different than mine.
this is Mavolia's Xmas Massacre. I guess she hosted it or something.
Oh, okay. So did that come right from Dustin? Mine came, I think, from Australia, from that retro
This
exploitation.
one, I think this one was from his Kanaki page.
Okay,
Yeah,
that would make
when
sense.
right when he was transitioning from DVD to Blu-ray, and he was getting rid of all of his DVDs. He had like a sale. He took them down to like $8.99 or something like that. So I was like, well, I'll take advantage of some of the ones that I was thinking like he's not gonna put back out again, if you know what I mean. So I wanted to.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. If you can get past all the footage from the first movie,
Mhm.
I don't think it's bad. I actually think it's one of his better movies.
Okay. I mean, I've never seen the first one, so I can't, say anything because I've never seen it.
It's
So,
a classic.
okay.
It's from the 70s. It's
Okay.
pretty well known. Like John Carradine is in it, I believe,
Okay.
but yeah, I think mine came from that retro exploitation because it also came with a poster, and but
Okay.
it got shipped out from Australia. Yeah, it's when Dustin
Okay.
was working with that guy.
Okay. All right. The next movie I have now. Here's where we. This is where we're going to be going into the Independence. Um, this is from a guy that actually is here in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Um, he. How familiar are you with Dungeon Entertainment?
no, not at all.
No, not at all. Well, they made a couple movies. Like some of them are bad, but they're done bad on purpose. So that was intended to be that way.
Okay.
Um, he did a couple movies. I'll have to show you at some point. But they made a movie called American Santa.
Oh, I've seen that cover. Okay, I do know that. Yes.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's only 20 minutes long, but it's
That's why I didn't buy it. I was going to buy it, then I saw it was like overpriced for like 20 minutes, and I'm like,
yeah. I don't know. I was crazy at the time, and plus, I live not that far away from these guys, so I thought about working with him at one point, but I guess he's no longer doing movies anymore. I don't know for sure,
Huh,
so this is kind of
quitter,
sad. Huh?
quitter.
I don't know if he quit for. I don't think he quit. He was making them. He said he was making. He was working on his first feature, and then he a lot of the people couldn't make it. He couldn't get he couldn't get the people to do the movie anymore. So, unfortunately,
Hmm.
I also have Happy Holidays.
That's a better copy of.
This this is the SOV horror version.
I wonder if the sound
I'm
is any better.
I watched it. I To be quite honest with you, um, I'm not sure. I watched it once and it was I wasn't that I don't know. I mean, I don't want to crap on someone's parade.
Well,
They
I,
did all these movies that they made, like Happy Holidays, Barbecue,
yeah.
um, Death the Lantern. They were all made back in like 2010 or something, and they were all classified as lost movies.
Yes,
So,
and I don't think I even knew who Chris Seaver was at the time. Really, I
mhm,
just I bought a whole bunch of his stuff. I think that's when I was first starting to collect,
yeah,
and I really wanted to tell him like I thought maybe my copy was messed up,
yeah,
and he's like, "Oh no, that's just the way the sound is because it was lost and it's old and." And it's like, no, it's not. It's. I'm 55.
nah.
I know what Killer
Uh,
Santa movies came out back then. Like
I mean,
I'm not 20.
they have a like an interview with him where he even talks about it. I mean, I guess they were trying to that was the gimmick they were trying to go for, as it's a lost movie. But
Which I don't mind.
it's,
That's fine, but just make it watchable or
yeah,
listenable in this case.
yeah.
You know,
So
I know it
I
looks like it has a
also
bunch of special features on it.
yeah, it has a bunch of special features. is introduction by the Warlock, which is the company that they were releasing these under, Warlock Entertainment or something like that.
Yeah, that's what mine is. Yeah, like Warlock Video or something like that.
Yeah. This is actually, if I'm not mistaken, this one wasn't actually directed by Chris Seaver. It was supposed to be directed by Chris Seaver, but he was going through some, I don't know if he was going through some problems or something at the time, and so his friend directed it. So that might be why it's not that great of a movie.
Yeah, who I think I bought all the movies from him. I think I bought like 4 or 5 movies from him. So I think that's who I connected because of that, or contacted, was because of I bought the movies from you. I'm going to reach out to you. Yeah.
I mean, he's an interesting guy. I'll say it like that.
I have nothing against him or anything like that. It's just, and I haven't watched all these movies. It's just that sound is you okay. You got a gimmick, but you got to make it.
You got to make it sound somewhat watchable, or be able to hear your movie.
Yeah,
so, I agree with you. Another one I got here is Deck the Halls, which is the same director as Happy Holidays.
Oh, I have that. Yes, I forgot to look in that. Yes, I got that too. Yeah.
So I have almost every one of SOV Horrors and Basement Videos. I'm missing a bunch. I want to get the rest of them before he closes up shop. I hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't. Yeah, that. No.
I hope he doesn't either. But the way he was talking, he might be. But he said he's keeping it open a little bit early, so I'm gonna try either the last week of December or early January to try to get the rest of them. So at least give him some money.
Yeah.
So these are the last 2 of the independent, and then I'll show off the one of everything, the one I have multiple copies of.
Okay.
Of course, we gotta give a good shout out to the one that you did a one filmmaker with, Addison Bennett. Got his movies to watch on a rainy afternoon Christmas special.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So he put a bunch of these out on DVD, and I think this is actually a Blu-ray. But he also does what you don't like. He makes puts them on just regular DVDs and burn them.
I don't like that. Not especially today. Back in the day, I understand it, sure, but now with like MakeFlix and Kanaki and there's no reason.
I bought these right when he was doing it himself, and he's since then been doing putting them on Kanaki and all that now. So he's been doing it now. But when I bought these, he wasn't using Kanaki at the time. So that's when I got those.
Sure.
And of course, everyone's favorite Christmas slasher movies ever. AXEMAS 1 and 2.
Oh, look at you. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. That is cool.
And of course, I had to get him signed by the director himself, Mr. John Ward.
I did sign that. That is me.
You did.
Yes, that's my awful handwriting. Where did I sign the other one?
You signed it in the front.
Okay. Oh yeah, right up there. Okay. Yeah, because there wasn't any room in the back.
I need to try this out on my Blu-ray player, because when I was playing it on my Xbox at one point.
It will not play.
Didn't work on. It will not play on Xbox. So I've been hearing a lot of people saying that they were having problems with that. So
Kanaki films don't play on game systems.
Are these on Kanaki? Well,
not through me, but through my distributor, Todd Cook. It's done through Kanaki. Yeah. And so
okay. It's for some reason it's Xbox, because the PS3 I didn't have no problem playing a lot of these. So my PlayStation 3 was.
Yeah, because when I mailed out a whole bunch of them, some people got in touch with me and said, "Hey, your film's defective. It's not playing on my game system." And I'm like, "Well, don't play it on a game system. Put it, just play it on like a DVD or Blu-ray player." And then it worked fine. Somebody told me, so I said, well, why do you think that is? And the guy goes, because it's a game system. You play games, you watch movies on Blu-ray and DVD players. You wouldn't play a game on a Blu-ray player. And I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough. So yeah, so anybody out there who has that, just don't just play it on a Blu-ray player or DVD player.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to get a Blu-ray player for back here, and then just watch movies on it, because I'd rather keep my game system for games. But for right now, it's what I have to work with.
Sure.
So, and the one I got multiple copies of.
I'm excited about this. Oh, I had a sneaky suspicion. All the first movie?
All the first movie.
Nice.
Got it on VHS. And what a lot of people may not know, this is my favorite movie of all time.
I did not know that. Wow. Okay.
You did not know that? This
No.
is my favorite movie of all time. It's the first real. I guess you could. I don't know if you classify this as a horror movie. It's kind of horror adjacent, maybe, but it's not real. It's not really like full horror, but it's kind of has some horror elements to it.
It's that and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom introduced the PG-13 rating.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because they were so violent.
This was my first introduction into, like I said, kind of like my first introduction into horror. Because I watched this when I was a kid, which I probably was a little too young to watch it, but shh, don't tell nobody. And I loved it. I watched it so many times. This is unfortunately not my childhood copy, but I've seen it on VHS, and this is the way I've watched it over and over and over again.
Makes sense.
I made my parents so sick and tired of hearing Mogwai.
It's a great film.
The Snapper Case DVD.
Oh yeah, the old Warner Brothers. Yeah,
I love this art. This is my favorite. And
pop.
I just
love that's the poster.
I love the pop. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. This is one you have, the regular.
Yes.
The Walmart generic brand.
Oh wow! Okay.
I got this. This was the first DVD copy I got. I got all the other ones later. It's essentially the same thing.
Oh, okay.
And then the Blu-ray, which is magnetic.
Oh, nice. I like that.
I don't know which opens up. There's Billy and Magua and Gizmo.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's cool with the two pictures that are bookending. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I paid like $10 for this, and I think this is actually out of print.
Keep a hold of that thing.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's out of print. I could be wrong, but
either way, you definitely keep it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely keeping it. At one point I wanted to collect every alternate edition of Gremlins. I don't know why. I have a sick obsession with Gremlins. But that's
okay. That's okay. That's fine.
And the one book I have is an independent author. His name's Edward Lorne, and he wrote a book called The War on Christmas.
What type of book is it?
It is.
Is it political?
Strange. It's 3 short stories that he wrote about Santa Claus. That basically, I'm trying to remember because I've read it like 2 years ago. This is on Amazon. He combined all 3 of the short stories into like an omnibus, and it's essentially Santa Claus has to fight off like evil creatures that took over Toyland or something like that.
Okay.
And he has to join forces with Krampus.
Oh, okay.
because I guess these creatures are interfering with Krampus's plans along with Santa's plans, and they got to join forces to take out. I forget. I think they even went as far as having Pinocchio as the bad guy, which is strange.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is his nose a weapon?
I have no idea, but it's a weird one, but I enjoy it. His writing style is not that bad. He's definitely has a Stephen King feel to him because he writes a lot of his books like Stephen King, and he is a Stephen King fanboy. So I'm like, it kind of makes sense. So,
Okay.
but yeah, The War on Christmas.
Nice. I like that.
So it's pretty good. Not the best book ever, but it's the only Christmas book I got.
Well, it's nice that we can also plug some books. So, not just movies.
Okay.
And which is perfect because that Krampus is a great segue into Krampus, the Christmas Devil.
I do have that. I have a lot of movies over at my dad's house. I have a lot of my DVDs over at my dad's house. And I forgot all about that, and I was like, I should have grabbed that last week. But I do have.
Yeah, I got a little bit of an obsession with. Oh, I didn't pull out. Oh, I should have grabbed it. I have the Krampus one, the big one, like the big movie Krampus that came out from like Universal or whatever it was. I have that on Blu-ray, but I didn't pull that out. It's over in my Blu-ray collections. So that's the one that's kind of started it all. But yeah, this is Jason Hull. So got that. And then these all kind of have like a little bit of a theme going here. Krampus 2, The Devil Returns, also Jason Hull. So got that one. Then one of the worst ones, Krampus the Reckoning.
Oh Lord.
Where he's all like CGI. He actually looks like this. That it's not a lie. And he just looks really shitty. And then Krampus Unleashed.
Okay.
Yeah, I also have God, I forgot to pull it out too. I got a whole set of Canon films. And Invasion USA is Christmas. So that's on there. That's right behind me here. It's like right over here somewhere. And then I got in a box, because I found a sale, Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn, I believe is also Christmas. So I got that one too.
Okay.
I went through all my stuff and I still miss things. And you've seen how many films I pulled. I spent like a good 30 minutes looking through everything. And then
I probably missed a bunch myself, so
then Krampus Origins.
Okay.
There's a couple new Krampus movies out, but they didn't I don't think they're physical copies yet. And then Mother Krampus, which has nothing to do with Krampus.
I think I have that one as well.
Yeah, she's more like a witch, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and then this one is Roger Connors, who also did the Night of the Living Dead kind of remake, like pseudo remake called Rebirth. But I had him on one filmmaker for Rebirth and this Mother Krampus 2 Sleigh Ride.
Okay.
So he's in this, and so I like that a lot. So we talked about this. This one it has nothing to do with Krampus again, but it's actually a pretty good flick. And I decided to put these in. I'm glad that you were able to show them too, but this segues into something else. So I too put AXEMAS and AXEMAS 2. So because without these next films, AXEMAS would not exist. And Scream was a major influence. All the Scream movies are a major influence on these. The next ones are the whole reason why I made AXEMAS, really. And I have posters and pictures of them up all in my bedroom. And that is the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies.
Nice.
So this is the Scream Factory Blu-ray edition, which is really good. It's got a great documentary on it. Then the next year they came out with Silent Deadly Night Part 2, where you get these are posters that they also send you. And this has a really good documentary too. There's Garbage Day on the back. Garbage Day. And then this just came out like a week ago, maybe not even that long. Everybody was showing this on Facebook, so I had to do it too. And that's the Silent Night, Deadly Night collection with finally Blu-ray. with parts 3, 4, and 5.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's Vestron, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff on the back. So, then I have some VHS of things. So we just move this here. So then there's before the Blu-rays, I had Silent Night, Deadly Night parts 1 and 2 as a double feature.
Okay.
And then this I've always loved. I actually made a copy of this cover, and I have it hanging in my bedroom. The Silent Night, Deadly Night collection, the 3-disc collection before the Blu-ray. So it also has parts 3, 4, and 5 on it.
Okay.
Problem is they're all like full. They're not widescreen. It's like the full frame, so it's just like a box. And the new ones are widescreen. So, but this is a great collection if people can find it. I believe this is out of print now. Great, I love that cover. This is what gave me the idea for the AXEMAS covers. If you look at the AXEMAS films, it's the same cover. It's the same thing with the axe behind the back.
There you go.
So, yeah, let me. Here, well, this one doesn't have the. Well, it's still his back, but it's more. Yeah, so the original poster for this has got that, but you can see there that Drew's standing backwards with the 2 axes. So, because I love this picture so much that I stole it. Then this is part of a collection, and I only got it because I'm a nerd. It's the 4-film collection, and it's got Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, so I picked it up also. And it's got My Best Friend is a Vampire, Repossessed, and Slaughter High. And then then this is a Blu-ray, and then it's the remake of Silent Night. So, which is Stephen C. Miller. So it's actually a really good remake. And then the 2 prizes of my Silent Night, Deadly Night collection. The figures.
Nice.
And this is what came from Scream Factory. When you bought the Blu-ray, the poster, you got the figure too. And then, so that's from part 1. And then they also have one for part 2.
Cool. There you go.
Yeah. So, very happy with those. So that's everything. It's a lot, but it's everything. I'm going to have fun putting all those back. Oh, well.
The joys of showing off a collection, but then
I know
it's the hard work of putting it all back.
Well, the good thing is that since I did go through everything, including like all my Dollar Trees and all that type of stuff, I found duplicates. So I put them in a separate stack to take them to the used record place to get some credit. So it was worth it because then I found those. So
there you go.
Do you want to do our best and worst, the 5 best and worst?
I really didn't come up with a best and worst list, so I'm sorry.
Well, okay. Well, number 1, we know you like Gremlins.
Okay.
So that would be 1. Home Alone, because you got a few things on that.
I guess you could put Home Alone as number 2. Okay. All right. Well, if I had to, I could probably come up with a top 5 of the ones I've seen. But then there's a lot of Christmas movies I haven't seen. Like I haven't watched. And I know this is gonna sound like how can you possibly have not seen this movie? I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never seen it the entire way through. I've never seen A Christmas Story the entire way through.
My God, man, it's played for like 2 days on TV.
I don't have cable, so I mean. So I watch everything either DVD or streaming. So
it's got to be available streaming. So you have to see that. It's a classic. It's one of those.
I mean, I've seen like bits and pieces of it. I've never seen it the entire way through because I'm a type person when it would come on TV, I would always catch it in the middle somewhere. And I'm a type person I cannot. I guess my OCD will not allow me to watch a movie from right where I turn to it. I need to watch it from the very beginning on.
Okay. Well, your mission, if you want to take it, is to watch A Christmas Story. So it's at least by next Christmas. So then we could do this again, and then you could say, yes, I've seen A Christmas Story. So you have a little more than a year. So, okay. So any other ones that would be best? We don't have to do worst, so we just do best, maybe.
I guess if I had to pick, I in no particular order. I guess the ones that I watched over and over and over again, I would probably have to pick It's a Wonderful Life, because I've watched that movie millions of times.
Okay, so that's
And I'll
3.
probably watch it millions of more times.
That's a good movie.
Home Alone, the first one. Second one, I'm not the biggest fan of the second one. I'll watch it if I ever wanted to watch like all 5 of them at some point, or 6 of them, or whatever they're up to now. The original Miracle on 34th Street.
The old
The
black and white.
remake's okay. Yeah, the original. The remake's okay, but I prefer the original.
Okay, that's 4.
And then Gremlins.
Gremlins was 1.
Oh, you already counted Gremlins?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta look at my stack. You know what? Batman. Batman's got to be on that list. It's gonna be a new tradition now.
Which Batman?
Batman.
The Returns? Oh, Fat Man. I'm sorry. Okay, good. I thought you said Batman. Okay.
No, not Batman.
Okay.
Even though Batman Returns is considered a Christmas movie?
It takes place during Christmas.
I mean, yeah. Okay, well, let's have this conversation. What would you classify as a Christmas movie then? Like, how would you classify a Christmas movie?
Anything that has the Christmas spirit in it.
Okay.
So if you had anything that, because I don't think Home Alone takes place on Christmas. It just takes place around the holidays, right?
It's over the Christmas like break or whatever.
Yeah. So I would say
they're going on.
Yeah, like Christmas trees, like houses that are all decorated, snowmen, Christmas, snow women. I don't want to offend anybody. Snow women and snowmen, and
snow persons.
Snow person. Because even like if we're saying Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I consider both Die Hard and Die Hard 2 to be Christmas films, then so is Lethal Weapon. Because the beginning of the movie takes place at a place that's selling Christmas trees.
Okay.
So that's around the holidays. It may not be Christmas Day, but...
So is The Shining a Christmas movie?
I would have to look at the dates.
Because supposedly it happens during the Christmas months. Supposedly. I
would probably have to rewatch it, or at least do some research on that one.
Been a while since I've watched it, but I've seen a lot of people asking, is it considered a Christmas movie because it has like some, like they're getting ready for Christmas or something like that, and during the movie, I think one part.
Yeah, they're breaking the hotel is closing for the winter break, and they got all the snow because they get snowed in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think at any point they're putting up like a Christmas tree or anything.
No, I don't think so. But I think at the beginning of the movie they were saying, "Come on, you need to have like a ham and stuff for Christmas and all that," or something like that. I think one of the lines was.
Okay, if they bring it up and they talk about stuff like that, then sure, I would say it's a Christmas movie. Yeah.
Okay. I would consider a Die Hard. I can see, because that's taking place during Christmas Eve. That is a Christmas Eve party that he's attended. It's been a while since I've seen Die Hard, so I might be a little rusty on the details there. But that was taking place during a Christmas Eve party.
Correct.
So that makes sense as a Christmas movie. But any movie, just because a movie has snow in it, I'm not going to classify as a Christmas movie just because there's snow in it.
You have to see stuff like Christmas trees,
Like
gingerbread
Christmas
houses,
trees, Christmas
a guy
lights,
dressed up as Santa. Like
like
I think it's Trancers 3. It's one of the Trancers films. It's 1, 2, or 3. I think it's 3.
mhm,
Takes place at Christmas.
yeah,
I know. In fact, I think the first one takes place at Christmas because there's a mall Santa that goes crazy, but it's a
yeah,
science fiction movie. So it's, I think as long as you, like, I was going to put in my stack, what was it? What's it called? Blood. I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's in the snow. It's a cabin. There's a group of people. This guy's dressed up like a skier. He's got like the goggles on and everything. And he just won't die. And it's very close to Michael Myers being in the snow, but it's not Christmas. They are in the snow, but
yeah.
they're up there for like a reunion. So
Okay.
I haven't seen the film in a while. I thought of rewatching it maybe for Christmas or something. Maybe the town that they go into has all the lights and everything up. I don't remember. But I'm just like, yeah, if it's just snow, I'm not going to include it.
Yeah, that's what I hate because I'm like, oh well, it's I mean, yeah, you can watch it during like December. It might make sense if there's a snowy environment. Okay, I can understand. But classifying as a Christmas movie, I mean, you could really say that Gremlins isn't a Christmas movie. I mean, it's really not, but it is Christmas time. They're talking about getting gifts. Like when Magua is given to Billy, he's given to him as a Christmas present.
Right. Yeah. The dad's out buying it for him.
So there you go. I mean, and the Gremlins even attack Santa at one point.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They're singing Christmas carols. The
So I think it
Gremlins.
is. I think it is.
Well, I do. It's
I don't
awesome.
really know why it's such a debate and all that stuff about like Die Hard and other movies. I'm sorry, Jaws: The Revenge is a Christmas film in the
Yeah.
same way that the original Jaws is a Fourth of July movie, even though it's barely takes place on the Fourth of July. It leads up to the Fourth of July, and then the little kid gets killed on the raft, and then it takes place after the Fourth of July. But
Yeah.
everybody watches Jaws on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Is that, so is it a 4th of July movie just because one day is 4th of July and it's just a scene in a movie?
Yes, John. Yes.
There you go. So, okay. So there we go.
So I mean, let's be real here. I mean, it's a stupid debate. Why don't we just say, hey, let's just enjoy the movies, okay? It
Sure.
doesn't matter if Gremlins is a Christmas movie or if it's not a Christmas movie. If if Die Hard is a Christmas movie or is not a Christmas movie. Let's just enjoy Die Hard for what we're here to do. Seeing Bruce Willis beat the living tar out of everybody.
There you go. Out of terrorist. Yes.
So
There you go. So, yeah. Oh, so, okay. So I'm going to read mine. So these are my top best. I could have done 20 of these, but I know I said 5. So I kept it at 5. These
okay,
may not be my absolute favorites, but they
okay,
are ones that I can watch on Christmas over and over again. So
okay,
the best would be the original Silent Night, Deadly Night.
okay,
And then I have Scrooge, 1951, black and white, scared
okay,
the shit out of me as a kid. Absolutely terrified me, gave me nightmares. It is a horror movie.
okay.
And I rewatched it maybe like a Christmas 2 ago. And it's a horror film. I mean, it's really scary. Like if you have like a little kid watch it, but it's really good. It's I think one of the best out of the like Christmas Carol Scrooge movies.
Okay.
The original Black Christmas, of course, Bob Clark, I think is
Okay.
a landmark movie. Very creepy, very scary. A Christmas Story, so which I used to watch every single year before it was really like it might have been available on VHS, but then TBS would play it for like an entire day.
For
So
24 hours.
yeah, so I really didn't even have to buy it because it was just on TV all the time.
Mhm.
But now I would. And then I already mentioned this one, Batman Returns.
Okay.
So
Makes
that's
sense.
yeah. And now the worst,
Oh boy.
Kurt Cameron's Saving Christmas is my number 1. It is god awful. It is so horrible. Do you own it?
I think I do.
Oh my God.
I've never seen it though. Do I?
It,
Do I? Hold
it is
on.
it is the most hollow movie ever made. It's all about consumerism. That's all it is. It's not even really, and we know that Kirk Cameron's like a big Christian and all that type of stuff. It's not even God or Jesus or anything. It's really about like buying crap. I mean, that's
I
really all it
don't
is.
see it. I mustn't. I know. I think I own it, but I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, you know what? I was gonna leave any Christian movies out of this because no, I mean I really don't have anything that takes place during Christmas. So I mean, unless you wanna count Jesus of Nazareth the miniseries, because the first part is about Jesus' birth.
Well, all that
Uh,
stuff gets played now. Now that there's channels and streaming and stuff for religious stuff, yeah. I mean, people will watch that on Christmas, sure.
okay. I mean that's the
Also
only thing I
Easter.
could. That's the only thing I can think about. I think I might have that one. I've
Yeah,
never watched it though.
yeah, I found a couple of his Kirk Cameron's films at Dollar Tree. Luckily, I found them on Blu-ray. And so I bought them because I like to make fun of them. But the one that I really love is The Left Behind, and he did 3 of those.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, could I put the Rapture movies in with this? Could I maybe do that? Because I have a few Rapture movies. I love the
Okay.
Rapture. I love the idea of the Rapture. And because I would like
Have
to
you
think
seen
that
the remake?
yes, with Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the books. It's like a completely separate story from the books, and the
Okay.
Kirk Cameron's ones are actually closer to the books, much closer. Because
Have you read the
in the
books?
books, you meet the devil. The devil comes up. Kirk Cameron's a reporter, and he's working for the rebels. And then the devil said, devil wants him to cover his story, and so Lucifer is walking around,
Okay.
and but in the Nick Cage one, he's not. It's just Nick Cage plays a pilot. He can't land a plane.
Yeah.
His daughter's on the ground, so it's a completely different movie. I would rather
Okay.
watch the Kirk Cameron films, to be honest.
To be quite honest, I still have not seen the Kirk Cameron movies.
They're not
Um,
good, but they're fun. I really enjoy them because, like I said, I'm an atheist, so I like them. I have a big grin on my face while watching them. So, because there's another one that's really good called The Remaining, and
that one's a good one. That
I
one's
saw
good.
the trailer for that and went, "Wow, this looks awesome!" And I got it, and I thought, God, this is really friggin' scary. I said, this is actually a scary movie about the rapture. And
Hmm.
then I saw the making of and found out that it was made by a Christian group, and that it's basically a film to turn people like me to Christianity. So when the rapture comes, I won't deal with any of that stuff. I'll go straight to heaven. And I'm like, wow, I'm actually really enjoying a Christian film. This is awesome. And it's really good. So if people haven't seen it, The Remaining, it's got Vega. I'm blanking on her first name, but the girl from Spy Kids is in it.
Yeah.
And it's really good. I mean, I got to tell one scene and then I'll move on, but it's there's a guy out there who blames God for this entire thing. And at
Hmm.
one point, he goes out of the hospital and he's swearing at God. He's like, "Come on, you, yeah," because all these people are dying around him, and God just sends a bolt just right down to him. Just, "Oh, okay, buddy," and just zaps him, and he just through electricity, he dies. And it's just it's so mean. It's such a mean movie that I highly recommend it. Yeah, for anybody who hasn't seen it. So
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I mean, as a Christian myself, it's for someone that does believe in God. I mean, hey, to each their own. I don't judge if you have every right to believe the way you believe, and I respect that. I but I've always told people, hey, I respect you, respect me. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? But that's the way it should be for everything. I mean, sexuality, religion, politics, everything. Whatever you believe in. Hey, you do you, I do me. But
Yeah.
hey, some of them Christian movies, I admit, Ooh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they're not good. So it's
Like the only ones that I actually enjoyed, and we're gonna move on because this is real. I mean, it kind of
a
fits Christmas because
Christian Jesus 25th. Yeah, I mean it kind of fits in there, sure.
yeah, it kind of fits. I mean, we're basically supposed to be celebrating Jesus's birthday, so the 25th, which is really not Jesus's birthday, it's
It's
actually a
just the day
pagan.
they chose. Yeah.
It's the day they chose. It's actually a pagan holiday, but hey, we don't want to offend the Christian people, right?
Well, I mean, so is Easter and Halloween. So it all came from pagans.
Oh, it's all pagans. I mean,
Yeah.
every holiday here is a pagan holiday. But hey, let's still have some fun with it, right?
Why not? Okay, so then number two is the new Black Christmas, the second remake.
Okay.
Is by far it is absolutely dreadful. It is one of the worst things I've ever seen. I
What do you
don't
hate
know.
about it?
It's a very feminist, man-hating movie. It has nothing to do with the both the original and remake of Black Christmas. Nothing, except that it's called Black Christmas. It's a
Okay.
completely different movie, and every guy in it is a douchebag, except for one guy, and he later on, no matter how much he bends the knee to the sorority, he says one wrong thing and they kick him out. And all the women in it are insufferable. And it's just I don't know who thought this was a good idea. It is awful. And the women that are in the original and especially the remake, the first remake, I think are great. The first remake, I love those women in there. I think the sorority girls that are in there are so mean to each other and so nasty that
Okay.
it's hilarious. It's great watching them just kind of bash on one another. And so it's like Sorority Row, the remake of the House of Sorority Row, is the same thing. All the young women that are in the sorority house are mean to one another, and it's hilarious. It's just great seeing them go back and forth. Um, and the current Black Christmas has no enjoyment at all, none. And like I
Okay.
said, so I just don't like I just don't like how men like ourselves, and I'm going to assume that you haven't done anything to women. I haven't done anything to women. I try to be a gentleman and open doors and do things like that. But yet I'm looked at as somebody who's bad. And it's like, I don't want that in my movies. I just don't.
No.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
mean, I've been married for 12 years, so I must be doing something right.
there you go. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
So,
Um, it's just very disappointing. It's like Charlie's Angels, that by Elizabeth Banks. It's the opening scene is an Asian guy mansplaining to
that's
Kirsten Stewart, and then she explains why he's shit as she
yeah.
beats him up. And it's like,
Hmm.
wow. So in the first 5 minutes of your movie, you're already calling men garbage, you know? And then Elizabeth Banks blamed men for not going to see the movie, which is why it bombed. But they did a survey and the percentage showed that more men went to see it than women did. So, but she still blames all men. So, what are you going to do? Then my next one would be Christmas Vacation 2.
You didn't like Cousin Eddie's second
I
movie?
hate Cousin Eddie. I
Oh,
love
you
the
don't like
first.
Cousin Eddie?
I love the first Vacation. I think it's great. I think it's one of the funniest movies made. European Vacation, I was not a huge fan of. Christmas Vacation, I thought was better. I thought it was good. And then Vegas Vacation was horrible. And then they did the remake, the quasi remake sequel that I thought was okay. But I don't like Randy Quaid to begin with. I mean, he's a nutbag
Ah,
and he's just kind of gross. And I mean, it's like for some reason, Dennis, Quaid got all the good stuff and whatever was. It's like Twins, that movie Twins, where Schwarzenegger got all the good stuff and Danny DeVito was like the leftover garbage. And this is the same thing. It's almost like, Dennis Quaid got all the good stuff and then Randy Quaid got the leftover crap. And I just don't like him. And I can handle him in bits and pieces, like in the vacation films, but not a whole movie. Not a whole movie. No, that was such a bad idea. Plus, he never grows.
To be honest with you, the best part of that movie was the old man.
I don't remember it enough. I saw it once when it came out, and that was it. It was just like, really? I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. So then after that is A Christmas Story 2, which I don't think they should have ever done, because you're not going to get that chemistry back. And surprisingly, there's more than one sequel.
Wasn't there a musical or something?
That's possible, yeah. Because there's also there's a film that was made right after the original. I think you can find it on YouTube, but it's not called Christmas Story 2. It's called something else. It's like whatever one of the books is called. And it is supposed to be better than Christmas Story 2. So there's been like 3, not counting the brand new one, there's been like 3 more movies under different titles that people don't even know about or barely know about. But I just think this was a bad idea. I mean, just nothing lived up to what the original was. And then the last one is Christmas with the Cranks. I hate this, with Jamie Lee Curtis and Dan Aykroyd is in it. I want to say Tim Allen is in it. It is one of the worst things I've ever seen. I think it's Tim Allen. I could be wrong about the Tim Allen part, but it's the Cranks every year do a big Christmas thing for their house. They do a big Christmas party. They do everything. Their daughter is now in college, so they decide, you know what, we're going to go on like a Christmas boat cruise. And so they don't decorate the house. They don't have the party. And all the neighbors, and Dan Aykroyd is the worst one, basically terrorize. It's a comedy. John Grisham wrote the book. And Dan Aykroyd terrorizes them with the rest of the neighbors of why that they have to have their Christmas house done. They have to have the party. They have to do all that. And it's all about consumerism. It's all about like this mob mentality. It's all about, and of course, at the end, they're forced to do it. And they do it against their will, more or less.
Yeah.
And it's just horrible. It's just like, how would anybody find this funny? Like, why can't they just go on vacation? Just somebody else in the neighborhood throw a party. Why do they always have to do it? So it's, yeah.
Because if they just went on vacation, then they wouldn't have a movie. Now, would we, John?
We would not. We would not. No. So that's
bad or not.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a movie.
I can't believe I barely made it through it too. I mean, and there's a lot of bad Christmas movies out there. So, what ones come to mind for you that are really bad?
Like I said, I haven't watched a ton of Christmas movies, so I really can't pinpoint too many. So I don't know. I'm not like, I can agree with the Christmas Vacation 2. It wasn't the greatest. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it's a bad movie. It is a bad movie.
Yeah.
So I can agree with you on that one. Basically, it'd be I think I can't think of any off the top of my head. So.
Well, with saying that, I happen to pull up a list. This is from IMDb, the top 25 worst movies of all time. And the very first one on the list is Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. It's a 1.3 rating.
Wow.
The second one is the Star Wars Holiday Special.
which I still have not yet seen yet. I need to watch it.
It's
at
on
least
YouTube.
Once.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's worth watching, I think, if you're a Star Wars fan. I think just for, just to watch it.
Yeah.
But it is pretty bad. And it got 2.1. The Hulk Hogan film, Santa with Muscles. Never seen it, never will. That got a 2.5. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. That's a good one. That's a great MST 3000.
I don't call that a bad movie though. That's just like a B movie.
It is, but it is considered, and I agree with you, but it is considered to be one of the worst movies ever made. But apparently better than Santa with Muscles, the Star Wars Holiday Special, and Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas. And okay, here we have Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House.
Okay, well, now that you mention it, one I will put on as the worst movie ever is Home Alone 3. That's the one I have watched, and I did not like 3.
Okay, so now that you've said that, so now number 6 is Look Who's Talking Now, the third Look Who's Talking film.
I didn't even realize there were 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Look Who's Talking 2, TOO, and then Look Who's Talking Now, which is animals. Like they have 2 dogs. So the first ones are babies, and then the third one is dogs.
Okay, I explained it because I haven't seen the third one. I've seen the first 2.
Yeah, I think I've seen maybe the first one, and that's it. And Look Who's Talking Now got a 4.4. Number 7 is Home Alone 3 with a 4.5. He's not even the same kid.
I think that's what ruins it. And have you ever heard of the Nostalgia Critic?
Yes, I've watched some of his stuff. Yeah.
Well, he did a review of Home Alone 3, and he made the joke. He goes, what were they thinking when they wrote this? And they had a scene where the dog literally stops. He's like, freeze, and the dog is like, and he's like, you know what? That's it. That's a brilliant idea. Let's say freeze, and the dog will go.
We'll just freeze. See, that's funny. That's funny.
So funny. It's hilarious. So hilarious.
Well, but it got a 4.5, but it is still better than all the other ones before it, because this is their list. So it's better than the 6 that came before it. And then we just got done discussing this, the remake of Black Christmas from 2006. That is listed on here as number 8. It's got a 4.6, as one of the worst Christmas movies ever made. And I can understand that. It is very bloody.
That's the one you don't like?
No, the 2006 one is the first remake. That's the one I like.
That's the one you like. Okay, what year was the one you didn't like?
2020, 2019.
Okay, so like more recent than.
Yeah, it's basically, I think, and I'm going to get political for a second, I think a lot of this stuff was made because Trump was in office at the time. So all of these like woke and activist and feminist movies were coming out. And even though I'm not a fan of Trump, as you know, I don't want to see movies about it. I don't care. Just give me horror. That's all I want. I want a guy in a Santa Claus suit going around killing people. You know, okay. I don't need some message movie. And it's, yeah, I just don't need it. It's one of the reasons why I never watched like Star Trek Picard, because like Patrick Stewart goes like, oh yeah, the Federation is now like the Trump administration, and okay, I'm done. I don't need to watch this. You know,
okay,
I don't need it. Just don't.
I do have a question for you, yes. And I'm not going to get political with this.
Uh-huh.
Do you agree with removing Trump from movies?
No.
Thank you. Thank you. I tell people, I don't believe just because he was in a movie, I don't believe he should be removed. Like, he's in Home Alone too.
That was a condition that they made with him to shoot at Trump Towers, is that he did a cameo in the movie. And I know that there was a huge upset about in Canada when they played the movie on television. They removed that scene and others, and people were saying it was anti-Trump. And I feel the same way basically about like Amber Heard and Ezra Miller. I don't think that they should re-edit Aquaman 2 or The Flash. Just release them. Just release them and don't use them again. Just don't
keep them in the movie. Just somehow write it in the sequel that somehow they were removed, or
Well, you just get a different actress. I mean, if they're, according to during the Depp Heard trial, is they the guys who were working with Warner said that she was on like a film to film basis. She didn't have like a 5-film deal. So you just don't have her come back for Aquaman 3. Just release it on HBO Plus, and then just don't bring her back. Same thing with Ezra Miller. Just now that James Gunn is involved, he's going to be redoing the entire Snyder universe anyway, so none of that stuff will count. So what does it matter? Release Batgirl, release all that. And the same thing with Trump. I mean, if they want to use Trump in their movies, then let them use Trump in their movies. Who cares? If you don't like Trump that much, then don't watch the movie. It's not a big deal to me that he's in Home Alone 2. I don't care. Plus, he was in it before he was president. So what does it matter? He was just, he's the apprentice guy, millionaire apprentice guy.
I just find it hilarious that a lot of people loved him before he became president, and now he's the most hated person ever. I just find that hilarious. Like, okay,
might have been the worst thing that happened to him. So,
I mean, I just feel like this. It's just political at this point. It's like, you don't hate him. You just hate him because he's on the other side. Let's just be real here.
Well,
and maybe he's not the best,
But it goes along with any of these people. They removed Kevin Spacey from Ridley Scott's, All the Money in the World. They reshot all of his scenes. It's I'm a firm believer that everybody in Hollywood knew exactly what was going on with Harvey Weinstein. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the reasons why Kevin Smith is so screwed up, why he like cries all the time. I think he had like a breakdown. I think Ben Affleck and all of them knew, Smith, all of them knew what was going on. But I wouldn't say any film that has Harvey Weinstein's name on it should be removed and destroyed. No. He's in jail, so he's serving the time, for the crime. So I think removing people and stuff like that is unless it's something like, let's say, an actress does nudity in a film and she lied and said that she was 18 when she was 16. Then I would say, okay,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's child pornography. Cut that out.
Right.
So that type of thing. But yeah. Okay, so then we got Black Christmas was number 8. Then this number 9, the Santa Claus 3, the Escape Clause. That's the one with Jack Frost in it with him. And that got a 4.8. I have not seen any of the Santa Claus
one wasn't great. That one wasn't that great.
Yeah, I've heard the
first
third one was worse.
I don't know. I think 2 is worse.
Worse than
that
3?
One was a little bit more watchable.
Oh wow, okay. Well, maybe that will end up on this list. Okay.
Because the second one, it was kind of like a robot Santa trying to take over.
What?
It was weird.
Okay.
Like it was basically like, it looked like Santa Claus, but he was like all plastic, and it looked like a freaking walking Santa Barbie doll.
Oh wow, that's Tim Allen, his Santa.
Yeah, the second Santa Claus movie.
Oh wow, okay.
So I didn't care for that one. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it. I have to maybe give it another chance and see if my opinion changes. But it was from memory, I wasn't. The third one I kind of liked, but then again, I always seem to like the movies that everybody else hates. and always seem to hate the movies everyone else loves.
I have a few of those myself.
Like, for example, what we just talked about, The Shining. Everybody loves Kubrick's The Shining. I was not the biggest fan of The Shining.
I'm a Stephen King purist. It is not the book. Stanley Kubrick did not understand the book. I think even though it is visually beautiful looking, it is, I understand why Stephen King doesn't like it. The miniseries is better, and it is the book. And unfortunately, when Mike Flanagan was doing Dr. Sleep, he didn't use the miniseries, he used the movie, the Kubrick film, because in the book, the Overlook burns down, but in the movie, it doesn't. So, no, I think I can watch The Shining. I just look at it as a Stanley Kubrick movie, not a Stephen King film. So, but I would rather watch The Shining miniseries.
And I never finished the Shining book. So,
oh well, I just gave it away. I just spoiled the ending for you.
It's good. It's fine. It's fine. I already knew the ending. I knew the ending to the movie and the book were different. I already knew that the Overlook was no longer there. I already knew that because Stephen King does like to spoil a lot of his books later on. So.
Yeah, I guess I never read the Dr. Sleep book, but I believe the ending of that is they do go to the Overlook Hotel, but there's like nothing there. It's like it's all burnt down. It's just land. There's just nothing there anymore. So, but they chose to go with the movie, the Kubrick film, because people know that. So it's Mike Flanagan's very good about that type of stuff. So I trust him. Number 10 is Turbulence. Which is that airplane movie. It's kind of like Die Hard on an airplane. It's Lauren Holly and Ray Iola, and he's the villain, and she's like the stewardess, and it takes place at Christmas. So they're flying cross country, and he's terrorizing her and the other people. I liked it. They did 2 sequels to it. I thought it was good.
I've not seen it, so I have to check that one out.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. So that got a 4.9. Then we have Deck the Halls. It got a 5. That's number 11. And Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick. I know of it, but I've never seen it. No idea.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just move on. I believe I played this at a theater that I worked at when I was an usher. Number 12, Unaccompanied Minors. And that got a 5.3. And that is... No, maybe I didn't see it. Yeah, I don't recognize anybody in it. But yeah, I guess babysitting parents go and the kids go crazy during Christmas. My worst one on my list is right here. Number 13, Christmas with the Cranks, 4.5. So got that right there. Yeah, God, it's so bad. It is so awful. Here is one by an actor that people seem to love and I cannot stand. 8 Crazy Nights with Adam Sandler. Got a 5.3.
I'm not the biggest fan of Adam Sandler myself.
I cannot stand him. I think that he is good in dramatic roles like Punch Drunk Love and some of these others. Spanglish, I thought he was good in. I do not find him funny at all. I don't. I just don't find him funny.
The only movie I liked him in was The Little Nicky.
Well, at least he's playing a character. So, yeah, I remember my long time ago when I worked at Blockbuster, my friend and I said, well, let's find out what all the hoopla is about. And we rented out like Billy Madison. We rented out like Happy Gilmore, and then the golf one. I'm sorry, not the golf. The football one where he's like autistic. Like Fluza Balk is in it.
I'm not sure about that one.
But we watched those 3 and just said we don't get it. We just don't understand. We don't get it. So I don't find him funny at all. The next one is number 15, Jack Frost with Michael Keaton, a very creepy movie, got a 5.4.
But what about the Jack Frost with Elizabeth? Wait, is it Shannon Elizabeth or Elizabeth Shannon?
Elizabeth Shannon.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Where she gets assaulted in the shower by Jack Frost.
By a carrot.
Yeah, that's, I guess we shouldn't be laughing at that, but it is a funny scene. But yeah, if you're not watching that Jack Frost and Jack Frost 2 when he goes to like Hawaii, I mean, those are the only two you need to watch. The Jack Frost with Michael Keaton is just creepy, just downright creepy.
I've heard a lot of people would take the Jack Frost from and switch them, so people would get the wrong Jack Frost.
We did that. I worked at an independent video store up in Marin County, Northern California, and we would take the two and swap them. And then one was in the kids section, one was in the horror section. So you got screwed either way. You know, because if you went to go grab it as a kids movie, you got the horror film. If you went to grab the horror film, you got the kids movie. And people were not happy with that. And we'd be like, "Oh my God, we're so sorry. I mean, the names, they're the same. We must have just confused them." No, we did it on purpose. I think most video stores did. The next one is another god-awful one, and it's number 16, and it's Saving Christmas, with Ben Affleck and Christina Applegate and James Gandolfini. And it is horrible.
Never seen it.
It's one of these films it's like What About Bob and some of these other movies where one character is so annoying and then he ruins the other person's life to make that person a better person. It's like that type of thing. And that's what this is. Like Ben Affleck is really annoying and he stays over at James Gandolfini's house, and then yeah, it's, oh my God, it is so annoying. It is so bad. You just got to wonder why sometimes these things are made. Now, this one, I don't blame the kid for making, because if Tim Allen could do Santa Claus movies, why can't Jonathan Taylor Thomas? Why not? So it's I'll Be Home for Christmas, got a 5.5. So I've never seen it, but I can't blame him. Why not?
Never seen it either, so can't comment.
Nope. But I don't blame him. You know, he's the kid from Home Improvement. So it's like, why not? If your television dad can do it, maybe you can too. Number 18. I love the actor in this. He's on my top 5, but it's a horrible movie. Number 18 is Mixed Nuts. Got a 5.4, and it has Steve Martin and Madeline Kahn, Robert Klein. It's not funny. It is not a good movie, but I absolutely love and adore Steve Martin. I do not recommend it. Number 19 also has a 5.6. A Bad Mom's Christmas. I kind of enjoyed the first one. I don't really remember the Christmas one that much. So, number 20 is one I have no idea about. It got a 5.5. It's called The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. No, nothing.
That's the animated one.
No, it looks live action. It almost looks like it could be from India. Joe Johnston is one of the directors on it, and he did like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, The Rocketeer. He was like a big Lucas Disney guy. It does have Keira Knightley, Mackenzie Fox, Morgan Freeman, Helen Mirren.
That was the one from a couple of years ago, like back in 2015 or 16 or something like that.
Yeah, the picture is not cartoon. It looks like regular people on it, so I don't think it's...
Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of. It's not the cartoon, no. I thought that was the cartoon, because there was a cartoon that had some weird title like that. That's what I thought. The animated one.
Yeah, I could be wrong the other, because it's two directors, but I think the second director, and I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I think it's Lazi Howlstorm. I think that may be how you say it, but I think he did like the Ice Storm, which is a great movie with Kevin Kline long time ago. Oh, Here's one you'll appreciate. Number 21 got a 5.7. Jingle All the Way. Listed as one of the worst movies ever made.
It's a bad movie. I mean, I can't deny it. It's a bad movie. I just okay. Here's I'll defend it because it's more nostalgia than it is a good movie. I've watched this movie at least 100 times. So when I was a kid, you got a movie. You were very fortunate to get a movie, especially with my parents were a bunch of cheapskates. So if I had a movie, you watched that movie over and over and over and over until the tape got eaten.
All right, well there you go. At least you admit it. So all right, so we're coming up on the last few here. Number 22 got a 5.6. Bad Santa 2. Not the best.
I don't think I've seen any of the Bad Santa movies.
The first one is good. It should be a classic. The second one I don't think deserves the crap it gets, but it's I saw an interview with Billy Bob Thornton that talked about the film, and how did he describe it? He said, like, if you take ice cream and put it into a bowl, and then you take the chocolate, like the hot chocolate, and you pour like a gallon of it all over the chocolate, he goes, that's what Bad Santa 2 is. While Bad Santa is you put the ice cream in the bowl and you just put a little bit of hot chocolate on like the top. So I guess it means Bad Santa 2 is just, it's too much. Like it's so, I guess. But I didn't think it was horrible. Okay, sir. Here we go. Number 23 got a 5.7. The Santa Claus 2.
There you go.
So
I feel like that one is a little bit worse than the third one. I think the third one is at least a little bit more watchable.
Okay.
But then again, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, so my opinion may change. So I have to track down the 3-movie collection and like watch them again and see how I feel about them. First one's great. I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, I like the first one. I saw it so long ago, I don't remember it. Isn't he doing a Netflix thing? Isn't that connected? Like the Clauses or something? The Clauses family? Or isn't that connected to these?
I think he's doing another Santa Claus movie, I think. At least I think it's a movie. It might be a series.
Well, he plays Santa in it, but I don't know if it's connected to the Santa Claus films. I don't know if it might be.
Either that or it's a reboot or something.
Yeah. Now, the next one, now we're down to our last two. The next one I think is unfair. I think this is a fun movie for adults and kids. Is number 24 at a 5.7 is Ernest Saves Christmas. Ernest is fun. Come on. That's not fair. Ernest Saves Christmas was not bad.
How could you hate Ernest? I mean, come on.
You can't. Plus, the guy died of cancer. Come on, man. That sucks. And then
I mean, Jim Varney, man. I mean, they. I think he was working on his 10th Ernest movie when he died, wasn't it?
It's possible. I mean, yeah, he made so many of them. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I just remember hearing the news that he passed, and it was just like, oh no, that sucks. I think Christmas saves, Ernest Saves Christmas. I don't think that does. At least it's number 24. It's not like number 1. So
yeah, it's not the worst. It's not. Yeah. It's not Kirk Cameron Saves Christmas.
No, not by a long shot. And then number 25. Okay, I could see this because it's kind of annoying. Fred Claus. That's the one with Vince Vaughn as Santa Claus's brother, and Paul Giamatti is Santa.
Never seen it either.
Yeah, it's once again, it's another one of those films where it's, you got Santa and then you got the really annoying guy, and the really annoying guy has to destroy Santa's life. And it's something like, Fred Claus is just a loser. He's a slacker, sleeps on the sofa, and then he like destroys Christmas, and then he has to fix it. And then they come together at the end. So
like a big happy family.
Yeah. Oh, and it has Elizabeth Banks in it, the director of Charlie's Angels. But
Maybe
okay,
that
so
explains it.
there you go. All right, so that's the top 25 according to IMDb, and
Okay.
we're at that time. We're actually 1 minute over that time.
Oh
Um,
man.
so is there anything else you would like to talk about with here? Any like games or comic books or anything like that?
I don't think there ever was. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think we have any Christmas games.
They need to.
Um, maybe I have to look it up now. I mean, I think there might be something, but it's not like, you know. I mean, there's a Die Hard game. Does that
See,
count?
yeah, I mean, they could do something with Santa Claus. I mean, it may have to be more of an action type thing, or maybe a little more horror. But like he could try to fight off like goblins or something, and he has to go to houses, and they should make like a kind of like a Christmas fantasy Krampus type thing.
There you go. Hey, we'll
Yeah,
have to. We're gonna make that happen. Somebody, whoever's watching, if
yeah,
you
make
can
that
make
happen, dude.
games, make it happen.
Happen. That's
Darn
right.
it.
That's right. So okay, well, I don't really know of anything else either. So what are your plans for Christmas?
Um, I think we are going to her, my wife's, father's house. We're going to my father-in-law's house, and we have another party later this week that we
Oh,
got to do. So that's going to be
Mr.
fun.
Fancy. Okay,
No,
Mr. Popular.
and then pretty much I'm going to. I think I'm off all next week too, which is nice. So I get to stay home and you know do things that I guess plan things that never actually happen.
Okay, so that's a good time to
So
do it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Have you ever had a week off or anything? You're like, I'm gonna do something, and then nothing ever happens.
Yes and no. The last Christmas, see, I have to use up my PTO. So I'll be taking Sunday the 25th off all the way to the 30th. And then I work the 31st, and then I have the first off. So last year I rearranged during that week, I rearranged my entire apartment, cleaned it,
Okay,
scrubbed it, moved the sofa from that wall to this wall, and I rearranged the entire thing. So
okay,
this year I may do a little bit of that, but I want to take one of those days and do like a super clean. Once again, get everything all nice and neat, maybe reorganize all the
there you go.
movies because they're all in friggin' boxes and from sales. But
There you
I will
go.
not be going to any parties or anything. I'll be hanging out with my cats, which is nice. I
There you
discovered
go.
that at least Natasha likes ham. So I'll be getting a kind of traditional Christmas dinner together for myself and probably give her a little bit of ham
There you
and
go.
watch movies. I thought of maybe not even doing Christmas films. I thought of maybe I saw on YouTube maybe or something like that. They were talking about like there's a Mission Impossible marathon on one of the channels. And I thought, well, shit, I own all the Mission Impossible movies. Maybe I'll do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, the one thing I'd like to do over the Christmas break is definitely, well, the days I have off, is I'd like to get my DVD shelf built because I need the place for all my movies to be in one place because I'm tired of them being all over the place.
Well, I know that.
So, so yeah, that's one of my goals. So let's hope that gets done. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. So,
Fingers
okay.
crossed.
Well, it sounds like both of us have plans. So it should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay. So I guess that's it. I guess we got through everything. Yay. And yeah, so I guess that's it. So this will be up during the Christmas week. There are sometime after the 25th and the New Year's. So that should be good. So when you guys watch this, we're in the past and they're in the present. Whoa. I know.
Mind exploded.
Yes. All right, everybody. So I guess we'll talk to you on the next video, on the one for next month. For January, we already have it planned, and we have a special guest joining us. So that one should be interesting, because our special guest is very much into what we're going to be talking about. I dislike what we're talking about, and it sounds like from Donald that you're kind of in the middle. So
kind of in the middle. So
yeah, so that works perfect.
So it would be Jonathan, or sorry, not Jonathan. John hates kind of hates this thing. Our special guest likes this thing,
right?
And I will be in the middle, like, okay, I can see your point of view, and I can see your point of view. So I'm kind of like, yeah,
exactly. So yeah, and you did mention, you did say Jonathan, so I'll just say it. So Jonathan A. Moody will be our guest. But I'm not. I
was trying not to. But not to spoil. I was like, I just.
But I'm not going to say what the subject is, because I think this will be fun.
We'll keep that a surprise. So.
Yeah. So all right, everybody. I will see you on the next video, which will be next month. Have a good Christmas. Have a good New Year's. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Whatever you choose to do. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you do. So yes. All right. So I'll see everybody later. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Bye. Bye.